All right, so you have been through a breakup and now you're trying to navigate the waters of trying to control your emotions when you're dealing with your ex. Whether you just see them casually because maybe you share friends, whether you have to co-parent, whatever it is, this is definitely not an easy thing to work through, but it is something that's doable. And in this video, I am going to help you to learn how to control your emotions when you are around your ex. First things first, it is normal to feel all kinds of emotions when you have left a relationship, whether it's happiness, whether it's sadness, whether it's resent, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, whatever it is, it's all normal. You should feel it all. Don't suppress it. So that's step one. You're not a robot. No one expects you to be. So you working through how you feel, whether it is one day that you're angry or sad. And I think we have these expectations that we shouldn't be angry or bitter or resentful or frustrated or mad. Those things are normal for what you went through, but what we don't want to do is we don't want to stay there. You learning how to deal and process your emotions on your own by yourself, that's a completely separate topic in another video. But for this video, I want to help you to learn how to control yourself a little bit more when you're dealing with this person, especially if you're dealing with someone who likes to trigger you. Now, when it comes to controlling your emotions, here's what I want you to do. Here's the deal with this. I don't want you to suppress how you feel, but I want you to learn how to manage how you feel. If you have a lot of bitterness or anger or frustration regarding this person, and especially if you have to still kind of deal with them, whether you own a business, you share friends, or you have to co-parent, then the number one rule that I want to give you is distance. Distance is very, very important. So that means that if you share friends and this person comes around, you make up some kind of an excuse to leave. Maybe not leave right then and there, where it's blatantly obvious, but you definitely start pulling away. If you have to co-parent, maybe you do more texting or emailing than you do actual conversations with this person. If you own a business with this person, maybe you have to hire kind of a third party to mediate certain kind of conversations that you have to have with this person in order to get the job done or delegate certain tasks that the both of you have to do individually and together. The distance also means I want to put distance and I want to put discipline for this next one, and I want to merge them because I want you to have the discipline to not inquire about this person. So we're not stalking them on social media. We're learning to just limit our contact in so many different ways. So it's not just verbal contact, but it's also the engaging or wondering what they're doing or asking about them. All of that stuff definitely has to stop, and you have to have the discipline in order to do it. So you leaving an interaction quickly, this is not about playing any games or being petty, and don't ever let anyone make you feel that way, even if it is this person or even your own self. Don't convince yourself that you're the problem, that you're just not above it yet, that you're still upset. Who cares? Who cares if you're still upset? You are learning how to protect your emotions, your mental state, your heart, everything. You are doing what's best for you in order to actually process how you're feeling and heal. And sometimes distance can actually give you that because you're not getting triggered every other day by this person. I want you to understand too that if you're dealing with someone who is not well, they don't have to be narcissistic, just someone who craves attention in any capacity, they actually might want to get a rise out of you. And a lot of the times, that's actually what's happening here is this person could be triggering you or saying something or doing something to get under your skin because they want you to explode. They want you to look like, you're the problem. This all just makes them feel like they're important. It makes them feel like they still matter, that they still matter in your life because they can control you in this way. So a lot of you learning how to control your emotions is just simply understanding that this person, that if you give this person this reaction, it's actually what they want. I don't want this to be about an egoic winning and losing game, but to have more self-control over yourself because what you're feeling, the emotion that you're really feeling inside, the anger, the frustration, everything, honestly, it has to do with you. It has to do with not you, like there's something wrong with you, but it's what you're feeling inside of yourself. It's the expectation that you have. It's the disappointment that you feel. It's the anger that you're experiencing because of past experiences that you went through with this person. And again, that all falls under the umbrella of you're disappointed by this person, you're frustrated by this experience. And all of that has to do with you. It's something that you now have to deal with and tend to and figure out how to work through. And a big part of that is learning how to feel what you want to feel and dealing with your emotions, which we'll get into a little bit during the course of this video as well, because I think it's just an important lesson to learn, not just in this situation, but in all situations. It's actually mental health. It's what you're supposed to be learning how to do for yourself. But in regards to this person, what I want you to really understand is some people, they want to trigger you. They want to get a rise out of you. Some people want to flaunt their new relationship in your face because they're insecure. Some people are just as angry and bitter and resentful as you are, but they're going to display it in a different way. They're going to want to make you feel jealous. They're going to want to chip at your self-esteem. They're going to want to trigger you just so you can start yelling and screaming at them, just so they're getting some form of attention. So when you start to understand that, you don't take things so personally when they do certain things. You start to brush things off. And then whatever it is that you feel towards this person, you take that over here on the side and you deal with that yourself, because you know that's your responsibility. But it's not your responsibility to take how you feel regarding this person, regarding things that have gone throughout the course of this relationship, and spew it on them when they trigger you. No, you understand that the trigger has to do with their insecurities, their need for attention, amongst a lot of other things. And your reaction is just going to feed into that. You're just going to be another enabler. And that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to give this person what it is that they want, but we also want to learn how to deal with how we feel and deal with our own recovery of this situation, this relationship, because a lot of times they're doozies. It's really hard to overcome the anger that you feel sometimes, the resentment, the sadness, the feeling of being the victim and not having the upper hand or not getting what it is that you wanted out of the situation. Sometimes all of those feelings can be bottled up and can be so overwhelming. And if you don't deal with them, they're going to just fester and fester. And this is usually when we explode. This is usually when we have a breakdown. This is usually when we feel like we're never going to meet anyone ever again, and that just completely overwhelms us, and then we just settle into it. So that's when these situations start affecting your life and in a negative way. If you understand how a person triggers you, I always tell people, regardless of an ex, whoever it is, even situations, it doesn't have to be a person, it can be a situation. How does this situation, how does this person trigger you? What is the trigger? Understanding yourself is critical. This is a part of the whole self-discovery, self-improvement, self-love, whatever you want to call it. This is about you learning how to take better care of you. This is not about never being triggered and not being a human being and never feeling anything uncomfortable. No, you feeling resentment and anger and frustration. Guess what? You're a human, you have an ego, you're not above that unless you really practice that every single day, rising above it, but that is not your full-time job. So if it is not your full-time job, then you are going to get triggered here and there. That is going to happen. When you get triggered, what do you do? That's the most important thing, is understanding what do you do when I get triggered, because the trigger for the most part is just a normal human experience, right? And so when we experience these normal human things, what do we do about them? It's that step right there that I want you to really learn or work on. And self-awareness is key. You have to be able to be aware, what is it that this person does that triggers me? Understanding yourself and that other person. Why are they triggering me? Why are they doing this? Also understanding that person, meaning their own insecurities, their own wounds, their own feelings that cause them to be who they are, and then owning your own feelings that are causing you to feel the way you feel. So the disappointment that I have that you weren't the person that I wanted you to be, having to deal with that and really understanding where that comes from and feeling so incredibly robbed by that situation. This is just one example. That's part of your healing journey, and that's stuff that you're trying to work through. And sometimes you can't do it all on your own. That's why you hire a coach or you go see a therapist to help talk through what it is that's really going on underneath the surface. And hopefully you're getting also really good, I don't want to say coping skills, but just skills that you should have learned that will help you to deal with how you actually feel. So you're not suppressing it. You're not just living in, well, I'm angry, well, I'm resentful, well, I'm bitter. Go beyond that. Go underneath. Go to like the sadness, and don't be afraid to sit in that sadness for a minute. The more you can sit in it and feel it, the more it actually does move through you, and then you can start moving forward. And sometimes people don't realize just how impactful those emotions are when they're just kind of following you around every single day. I want you also to understand that learning how to be calm is way more healthy, attractive, empowering than you reacting and just letting your emotions do whatever they want to do. You learning how to keep your cool will help you more than it is about proving that you can be calm to other people. But remember, that is a practice. You're not going to be calm in every single situation. You're going to react sometimes. So when you do react and you do something or say something that you wish you didn't, and then you're beating yourself up about it, make sure also that you can forgive and move on and try better next time. And that's what this is all about. It's not about being perfect. It's not about showing someone that they don't matter to you. No, it's about learning how to just be healthy. And the more you can just accept who you are, own it, and be really comfortable in your own skin that, yeah, I did overreact that day. I wish I hadn't, but I did. And just like owning it makes you so much more attractive and confident than you just trying to be this rock that doesn't feel anything and then shaming yourself for it. That is not going to help anything. A lot of times too, people are just in a habit of reacting. So when you start to kind of slow down your interactions with people and you make it a point of like, okay, I'm about to go toe to toe with this person, I'm about to see them, and you just are very self-aware of your own self in that moment, just your ability to slow down a little bit will help you to make different decisions and not just do what you've always done, which is just impulsively react when this person starts triggering you, because you know they're going to. So I think that's the other thing, like accepting that if I'm about to walk into this, I am expecting that this person is going to trigger me. And so even that, you're not caught off guard when someone does trigger you, and you can be more I guess mindful or have more discipline on which direction you go, and not just doing the same thing that you've always done because it hasn't given you any results that are going to be beneficial to you. Learning how to just be unbothered by a person, staying calm, all of those things, like I said, it takes practice. It's not something that's easy to do because you do have emotions and feelings that you feel towards this person. And if they're anger, sometimes that just takes time to work through. But let me say this, the more you practice this, you will 100% get there. There is no doubt at all in my mind, nor should there be doubt in your mind. You will eventually get there. Don't judge yourself throughout this process. Learn how to remain calm, learn how to, sounds corny, but hold on to yourself, right? Take responsibility for how you feel, do all those things that we talk about all the time. Practice being that healthy person, that confident person that you want to be. And the more you keep doing that, I mean, this will just pass you by and you'll go, oh my God, I'm actually unfazed by this person now. I can sit here and not be so triggered by them. And that's the goal. So I hope this video helped you to get to that goal. Please comment down below on how does your ex trigger you? I think the comment section is a great place to really get support and help from each other, because we've all been there. Whether you are over the hump and you've been there years ago and you remember what it felt like, or if you're just like knee deep in it right now with this person. So comment down below. I'm always in there the first hour that I post each of my videos. And if you're looking for any free information, courses, things like that, please check the link down below. Hit more, I think it is, and find that information there. So you guys, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.